that rogue nation, the United States, well, their Special K envoy to Ukraine, snap, crackle and pop in the feckin' head, Keith Kellogs. Well, he's clearly been suckling on Donald Trump's chocolate starfish. And what did he find? Well, Cocoa Pops, that he did. Well, Keith Kellogg's has been, telling everybody that Ukraine brought it on themselves. You're having a feckin' laugh, aren't you? Ukraine are the ones who got invaded. Donald Trump, you know, President Dum-Dum Donny Trump. He said that Ukraine is difficult to deal with. Harder than Russia. That's because you're capitulating to Russia, you feckin' traitor. Security risk, that you are. Do not share information about your security with Donald Trump. He's clearly sharing it with Russia, allegedly. Well, I wouldn't trust him, as far as I could throw him, and that ain't very far, I have to admit. Well, Keith Kellogg's, he's going to be there in the old meetings tomorrow regarding the peace deal. Now, no matter how excited you might be getting about, there's going to be a peace deal on Tuesday, and it's all going to be signed, sealed and delivered, yes. Volodymyr Zelensky's going to put his head on the old chopping block and gift away all Ukraine's resources for perpetuity. Well, actually, don't get too excited, because this meeting tomorrow in Istanbul is unlikely to lead to actual peace talks. You see, this is just going over the agreement back in 2022 that was held in Turkey. Back then, it was a piece of the outlines for a peace agreement back then, you see, in 2022. The likelihood of it actually being, negotiated tomorrow is slim. And the likelihood there being a signature on that minerals deal is slim. And I'm sure Volodymyr Zelenskyy is starting to think to himself, is there a possibility we could manage without the United States, since the rest of the of Europe is stepping up, including Canada as well? Now you see, France, for instance, is the second largest exporter of munitions, military equipment and what have you. They just sent some tanks, using Russian funds to Ukraine. Well, it's about to be sent. They announced it today anyway. Which, as far as Volodymyr Zelenskyy is concerned, I'm sure he's very happy about that. And also, there's new satellites that have been launched, and military satellites, imaging satellites, which is obviously very useful for surveillance operations for Ukraine, which Ukraine will have access to. And it's a partnership between Germany, Belgium and France. So that's obviously very interesting. You see, we're moving away from the United States. They've made themselves a Billy No Mates that they have under Donald Trump. They won't be under him, because obviously the Cheeto dust will fall. Anyway, you wouldn't come out looking normal. You'll be all orange, just like him. Well, in some ways, I would hope that Zelenskyy would say, F you. But I actually think this is all going to be a bit of a delaying tactic at the moment. Seeing how the other European countries step up. And they are currently. Poland, for instance, Germany, everywhere. France has just said, hang on, don't borrow our nukes. We'll become your protectorate, we will. Well, you see, many countries have for far too long, including Canada, have become too dependent on US tech. Now they've got this F-35 deal in Canada, for which they think, oh, okay. What about the tariffs and what have you? Should we bother with these now? You know, the F-35s, the fighter jets. They're considering backing out of that as well. Maybe they'll go for the Rafales or whatever. I don't know what the comparable jet would be, to be fair, in Europe. What a mess the United States has made of this. Actually, let's be fair. All those who bothered to vote and voted for Donald Trump. What a stupid thing to do. You are, in the United States, or turning to Russia, who has, well, for decades and, well, notoriously caused you a hell of a lot of flipping grief. And you know, for instance, in the United Kingdom, we had the Salisbury poisonings. That itself really should have been an act of war. So that Cheeto bandito, Donald Trump, is cheating everybody out of a normal life. Everybody is worried, they're scared. They don't know what's round the corner. See, Donald Trump keeps changing his mind. Nobody knows where they are, and industry doesn't know where they are. They don't know from one minute to the next. You see, trade, industry, what prospers with stability, knowing what comes next. So you can plan for the future. Like car manufacturers, for instance, they need to plan like 10 years ahead. You can't do that with Donald Trump, can you? Tariffs today, not tomorrow. Tariffs tomorrow, not today. You can't make his mind up. There's the embarrassment of them, but also the effect of backing the tariff plan and watching your country's economy literally plummet, forcing it into a stagflation. Now, the damage is probably done now, and it's probably too late to do anything about it. At the very least, you can end up with a pretty severe inflation, which will rub off on everybody else. You know how it goes. When the United States sneezes, we all catch a cold. That we do. You see, it is a world economy. We keep going on about the globalists and what have you, which is a major problem because there's too much greed. These people, they want more and more and more. You know, the richest 1%. And when they find out, well, I'm not point out anymore now, I'm the richest man in the world, well, then they want power. And that's what Elon Musk has got, screwing everybody else up. That he is. He's been given power by Donald Trump. The madness of it all is just astounding, it is. And I just wonder what comes next. It certainly isn't locus. No, logic. Not at all. He doesn't work on the basis of logic. He's winging it. It's plain to see he doesn't know what he's doing. Donald Trump has not got a clue what he's doing. From one minute to the next. He has all these mighty ideas that he wakes up and thinks about in the morning. Oh, I'll do that today, I think, and tomorrow will be a new day. But does he get any advisors? Does he have any, examine it properly with people with a brain? Obviously he hasn't, but people with a brain. No. That's what all normal governments do. They see what all the lateral effects are going to be and the nuances of the decision and how one decision affects another. It's complicated. The thing is, though, Donald Trump, he isn't that complicated, is he really? I think what you see is what you get. And what I see is a blithering idiot who happens to be orange. He does. He's orange in that light. That he is. Anyway, what say you? Are you worried? What's going to happen next? What is Donald Trump? Is he going to trip over on the old toilet and drain up the flux capacitor? No, I don't think so, because he ain't that clever. No. Leave in the comments down below. And if you want to watch anything, do it on Patreon or buy us coffee. and the links are down below. I wouldn't want to be their neighbour. No, not at the moment. I do really feel for Canada, with this risk of the 51st state looming over them. It's madness. Get him out now!